Well, time for another update on the project. Been busy the last couple weeks, so I haven't been able to get much done, but was able to get some done this weekend. So trying to continue to make progress. Got my engine stand or engine cradle, I should say. Got the engine cradle to fit finally. Got it on the got the engine on it, and was able to move it out of the way a little bit. So given a little bit more room up here, so got a little bit more room to work now, and I was able to get the transmission out. So there is the transmission from the '07. Got that disconnected and out. Much easier to get it out than it was the 2014 GT500 that was wrecked. So everything was bent and it just didn't want to come out very well. This one came out significantly easier, being that everything was straight, and so just had to kind of jiggle it a little bit, but was able to get it out. So that's been about it, I guess. Did some cleaning, moved things around a little bit, so I had some more room in here, and was able to get the transmission disconnected and get it completely out of the car. A couple other things, just as side notes for the project. Was watching some of the stuff from VMP Performance, some of their videos, and a YouTuber called That Dude in Blue. He had a Pro Charger on his Mustang and had it down there, and they ran it on the dyno and did some dyno numbers, and then put their Gen 2 R on, and then the Gen 3, and it was actually pretty significant, the amount of horsepower and specifically torque differences between the two, between their Gen 3 and the Pro Charger he had on. So it kind of got me rethinking a little bit about going Pro Charger with this. So I called up VMP the other day and was talking to them and kind of explained what my goal was and what I was trying to do, and the reason I was thinking about the Pro Charger due to the fact of the heat that would be produced, and the fact of this hood, wanting to keep this hood as part of the whole Foose deal, and not sure, one, if I could get their Gen 3 under the hood, second of all, the extra heat that it would produce. And the gentleman I spoke to at VMP said that the new Gen 3 produces a lot less heat than previous ones, so that even though there is no venting up here, like there is on the GT500, that reverse vent to draw the heat out, he said it should not be a real issue to run that on here. So I am thinking about that. I'm having him get me a quote on that, along with some other things to see about. So I am thinking about running the Gen 3 supercharger root style from VMP instead of the Pro Charger. So we'll have to see on that. The other thing is the rear end is at DCA. He took it apart. Everything looks good. As we saw the tires in one of the previous videos, the car, I think, that GT500 only had about 6,000 or 7,000 miles on it, but those tires were bald, so it lived a hard 6,000 or 7,000 mile life. But he said the gears all looked good on there. From his calculations and stuff, I was thinking about going 355s because I have 373s and the 91, and it's a little steep going down the highway with the T5, with the 5-speed. But since this will have the transmission that is in it with the gears that are in it, should be the 0.5 in 6th gear. When he did the calculations on it, going about 70 miles an hour or so down the highway, you're going to be running 1,1600 RPM, so that's not bad at all. So I think I'm going to go 373s instead of 355s. He also was able to weld in the axle tubes for me, and he was actually able to shorten them by a full 1.5 on each side. So that's a lot more than the original inch or maybe 1.25 inches I was thinking he would be able to do. So he was able to fully do that. So we should not have any problems. These are the 345s from the GT500. If my calculations are right, I was thinking 1.5 inches would get me about the 345s under the rear of the car without having to do any kind of wide body kit or flaring or anything like that, which I did not want to do on the car to ruin the look of the car. Or I should say not necessarily ruin the look, but change the look from the Foose's design. But since he was able to go in full inch and 5/8, those 345s should easily fit under there, and might even actually be able to go 355s under there, which would be very, very cool. If I could get even a 355 under there would be amazing, and should really hold the grip and the horsepower we're going to be putting down with this. So that would be very cool. So I'm just waiting to get the quote from VMP for the 373 gears, and I can get those ordered, and he can get those in, and we can get moving with that. From the Real Tuners podcast I listened to, I contacted Tom Sewell from Fuel Injector Development, and from talking with him and what we're looking at, he was recommending their 2000cc fuel injectors. So that's what I think I'm going to go with. So making progress there. I think that is about it. Just a quick little update. Was really hoping to get more done this weekend, but with rearranging in the garage took a little while, and then the transmission came out relatively good, but just took some time. I had a heck of a time getting to one of the top bolts that's all the way back, basically kind of under the firewall a little bit, and that was a little bit of a struggle, but I was finally able to get it, so that took a little bit longer. So just kind of a combination of a bunch of little things. Took me a little bit longer than what I was hoping, but I did get the transmission fully out, and that is done. Probably next weekend, I'm probably going to try and tackle the interior and start working on getting the dash and the seats and that kind of stuff out, so that I can start getting ready to swap over the wiring harness from the 2014. So making some progress. Got a long ways to go if we're going to hope to do the tour, or the Mustang 55th anniversary on April 17th, but we will see. So that's kind of a quick update and where we are with everything. Hope everybody's good. One comment that Eddie had made on one of the previous videos, that I need a bigger garage. He is absolutely correct. It is a little tight in here, but making do with what I got. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.